So hey guys, welcome to this video, and in this video I'll be sharing with you some ideas and techniques of drawing an outline. So drawing outline is way more easier when you first of all draw the proportions of your drawing, because it will basically give you an idea of where your facial features, your eyes, nose and mouth and ears will lie on your particular face, and it will give you the basic guidelines or the basic structures of the face. So let's just go straight to the drawing and I'll be explaining the rest of the steps there. So guys, now I am in the page of my sketchbook, and now I will draw the proportions here to see actually that how does it works. So when we start off a face, we generally start drawing a circle just like this. You do not have to be perfect in the first time. You can draw it repeatedly so that you can get your desired shape. Now cut the circle into half horizontally like this. Okay, this line is going to be your eyebrow line. Now cut the circle vertically like this and extend the line below the circle by a bit, just like this. Okay, now if you see the upper part of the circle, the upper semicircle and the lower semicircle, you have to divide both of them into 3 equal parts. So I will be dividing both of them into 3 equal parts by putting these lines. Okay, all these distance should be the same. All these distance should be the same. Only then I can say that it is equally divided. Now get this distance and put the same line below the circle, just like this. Okay, so guys, this line here will be your forehead line, this line here will be your eyebrows, this will be for your nose, and this will be for your chins. Now if you cut this distance into half, you will get this line for the eyes. Okay, so basically in the face proportions, the distance between the forehead and the eyebrow, the eyebrows and the nose to the chin are mostly equal. Now, so in some faces they are generally different. It is not applicable for all faces that it has to be equal. Some faces the forehead is much larger, than the forehead distance is much larger, and in some faces the chin distance is much larger. So according to your face, you have to adjust these proportions by a little bit so that it will be perfect for your particular portrait or whatever you have chosen as the reference. So generally when you take these distances as equal distances, when you take this distance as equal one, you can get a basic idea that where are your facial features are going to be. Now as same, I would say the side of the face will depend on the face you are drawing and the jawline too. In some faces the jawlines are too narrow, and in some faces the jawlines are too broad. And now when we talk about the ears will be in between the eyebrows and the nose. This distance will be for the ears. Now as I'm saying repeatedly that these are not compulsory for all portraits. Some features may differ. Sometimes the ear starts from the eyebrow line but ends above the nose line. Okay, so these things you have to observe in your reference picture, and accordingly you have to draw them. Now if we say the eye portions, it is generally having a one eye gap in between those two eyes. If suppose here it is an eye and another eye is here, so a same gap as the width of the eye will be in between the two eyes. Okay, and the nose will be in your triangular shape. I will be drawing just the shapes of them to give you a reference. Just like this your nose will look like, and above this line will be your for eyebrows. this line will give you where the position of your eyebrows has to be. Now if you draw your hairlines, this is going to be your forehead, and you have to draw your hairlines from here, and it will look like it will look something like this, just coming straight down from here, just like that. And I'll be drawing a male face here, so I'll just give a rough hair shape just like this. And if I draw the ears on both the sides, it is going to be starting from the eyebrow lines and end to the nose line, just like this on both sides. And when we talk about the lips, it will be in between, just below the nose. It will be for your upper lips, and if your mouth is open, then you can generally specify this as your lower lip, or you can just put a line above it. And remember, when you are drawing the lips, you do have to be idea between how much gap you should left for the chin region. So I'll be making the lower lip here with the lips closed. Okay, so my lips are going to be something like this. Now I'm not drawing it completely perfect, I'm just drawing it to show you the proportions of the face. And just like this, my face is completed. Now from here you can draw his neck region, and at some distance below the chin you can draw his collarbones. Just like that. Now we'll see with this example that how I drew this outline particularly, and I'll be explaining each steps that how you can draw this particular outlines too with the help of using proportions. So guys, let's start the process. So first of all, I will draw the basic structure, that is a circle which is divided into 4 parts. So I drew this, but later I noticed that it was not visible in the camera, so that's why I later used a 2B pencil for that. So guys, here I just followed all the steps that I mentioned before while drawing this one, and I measured all those lines for giving those points for the eyebrows, nose, chins and the forehead, etc., as well as for the eyes. There I marked the sides of the faces, and from here on I'll be measuring the shapes and distances of my reference pictures, and according to that I will draw them. And here I mark the positions of the eyes. As I said, this will be a 1 eye difference between all those 2 eyes, or sometimes maybe even larger than that. And I'm marking the eyebrows for there, and I noticed here that the distance between the eyes and the nose is quite less if I compare that distance from the distance between nose and the chin. So I marked up the nose line a little bit upwards. Again guys, I will tell you that these proportions are not exactly applicable for all your drawings. You need to do some changes accordingly to your reference picture. And remember this point that you don't have to put a lot of details in the outline process. I did here a little bit more details than I usually do to make it look a little bit better, because it is just an outline video. So you don't have to put all the details in the outline processes. You can just measure the shapes and sizes of the features properly, so that you don't have to readjust them while doing the shading process. And there is one more thing I would recommend you, that you should be as light as possible while drawing the outline steps. I did use a 2B pencil here because it was not visible in the camera if I was drawing with a HB pencil. So I used a 2B pencil to make it a little bit darker than I usually draw. Then after here, I just draw things watching from the reference picture, just seeing its shape and just drawing them, and that is it. So after completing drawing your outlines, remember to erase your guidelines that you have marked before.